So continuing work on the 262, I've got the air shroud here and the turbo tube. Not broken. And there's a rubber piece on the front here. Gonna put this air shroud on here. Looks like it actually has to go under that. That comes over. And this probably holds the turbo tube here. Yeah. Holds it in the right spot. Everything's held in the right spot there. So then we have this wire going to... Okay. Ignition wire here. I might actually just be able to put the starter cover on at this point. I don't see why I can't. Let's see. So here's the starter cover I'm going to use. A little worse for wear. Eventually I'll probably take off the sticker here and put a new one on, because new stickers make the saw go faster. New starter cord. This one looks a little worse for the wear. So let's undo this and see what we find. I'm going to replace the starter cord anyway, so I'm just going to cut it. Looks like I have to take the outer 4 screws out too. That spring sure looks like it wants to unwind, so let's see if we can put that back before the whole thing goes gaboing. Good. Spring does not look like it's broken. This piece is a little dirty. Put this in the ultrasonic. I may use a different starter cover here, maybe not, I don't know. But that's what that looks like inside. So while I'm at it, I'll replace the cord. So I unwind it. Be careful to remember which way it was wound. I did cut a little bit off of this, so I want to be cognizant of that. Measure the cord. A little extra is not a bad thing. You can always tie it off at the other end. I really wish I had a direction on here. It says rewind this way, you know. Surprised it doesn't have that. And it'll just, it's a notch here. Make sure that it's in there, and then you just put it down and things become obvious from there. But I'm not going to do that right now because I've got this one already basically set and ready to go. It's more or less clean, so we'll just use this. Wanted to go over the 262 XP starter. Springs in there. This has been in the ultrasonic, so it's more or less clean. Got this housing here. Not sure. I got new cord wrapped around this way, so you can see that. Just not sure. Will this actually fit in here inside the housing? And the answer is no. So you actually have to put this down first, technically, and then put this over. That's going to be quite tricky to do. Either way, you have to kind of feel for this. I'm going to grab about there. Housing goes on. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these 4 little screws down. One. Two. Three. 4 is here. So 4 screws down. Now what you do is you tension this. So you run it around once. And the cord has to be in the notch. Now it's tensioned. Now we need the screw here in the center with some grease on it. Now all we got to do is tighten the handle down. So about there is fine. Whoop. Ha! Oops. Retention. Put a knot in it. Nice and smooth. There you have it. Perfect. Okay. 4 screws. Yeah, something's still not quite in alignment. There we go. Quite a bit of pull there. I take this out. Should pull over freely. Good. So, starting to look like a saw. Don't know if you'll be able to capture this or this will work, but I've got a Alden Pro Grab It bit here because I've got a stripped head right here. The 4mm Allen won't grab. I've got my Pro Grab It bit. Let's see if it actually goes. Nope, gonna need a bigger bit. Perfect. Cool. Of course, now I gotta get it off there. Well, that's gonna be fun. So, again, Alden Pro Grab It saves me. Pretty good. Again, here's the set of Alden Pro Grab It screw extractors. Had pretty good luck with them. Worked pretty well. I have another video on that, so you can check that out. It's a 350 with muffler bolts. But it works quite well. Real happy. One quick thing I found here. I was looking over the screws, and the one that's stripped out here is actually kind of a unique screw. It's got a flange on it, and it's kind of heavy. Sorry, it's got a flange on it, kind of heavy thread. It's actually heavier thread than the bolts that go on the chain catchers on the 350. It's about the same diameter, but the thread is heavier. So, a fairly unique bolt, and I happen to have one that's identical, probably from another 362, but I'm going to have to get more of these if I'm going to put more of these saws together. Which is aggravating because these are probably $1 or $2 each. But whatever. So you have to make sure the handle has an intact spring and this rubber mount piece, which apparently just sticks in there. These are okay. These are fine machine thread AV mounts. This has to get slid back, not over the top. There we go. Not over the top, slid back. Makes sense. Now, I don't know if you remember, but that 372 mount was a pain. That's quite a bit easier once you know how to do it. Line up the holes, put the screws in. Now this screw here is a tiny machine thread screw. It does not need a lot of torque. And after seeing this here, I'm wondering if there is a chain catcher that I'm missing. Put the top AV mount bolts down. Short machine screws. One of these is flanged and one of these isn't. I suspect one of these is a screw that somebody put on there. I like to make the screws matching. Seems almost silly not to. One screw over there. One screw there. Throttle's attached. Bring the fuel line over. Chain catches on. Got some grease on the bolt here with this gray thing. I don't know. Looks like a bump stop of some kind, but don't know exactly what it does. Doesn't really matter to me. I will put it home like that anyway. One in there. Let's do the bottom two. These are not always easy to get in alignment. One. Good. And the last bolt here. Here's the dip tube. Looks okay. That goes down. I just have the sneakiest suspicion that I'm missing a piece here. There's a rubber piece in there or something. The oil comes up, goes in here from the dip tube, and goes up this way, and then into an actual channel in the chassis. Yep, and that passageway is clear. So I need to find that piece. It's one of those dumb little pieces. Sure enough, there's a tiny little rubber piece. And it goes right here as an interface between the oiler, this part of the oiler, and the chassis there. And this will go down like that. Now, before I put it down, I want to confirm that the 3 bolts that I have to put it down with are correct. The bolts to put the oiler down, there are 3 of them. They are probably a 3mm head. These are tiny. So obviously going to be very light torque on these. And it looks like they were in with Loctite. So I will put these in with Loctite. What I'm also going to do I'm going to put a little bit of anaerobic sealer here just to help out the seal in the oiler a little bit. The other rubber piece probably won't need the help, but that rubber piece might. So one. 2, 3. Again, nice light torque. Position the oiler. Don't put them all the way down yet. Now, there is something that I'm sort of forgetting here. Sort of. There is a oiler pinion. Now, there are two styles. One is this plastic guy. The other style is the old worm gear style. So it's a metal piece that actually gets pressed onto the crankshaft. Now, as I understand it, most everything is converting to these plastic ones, mostly because they're a whole lot easier to deal with and easier to pull on and off and whatnot. This is a real pain, and you have to have a puller to pull it. So I will probably try to demonstrate one of these on another saw, but for now I think I'm going to convert everything to the plastic ones just cause. So the plastic one goes on. Don't forget your needle bearing. And then actually you want the gear here for the chain. And these say on them what they are specifically. So this is a 3/8 7-pin rim. Okay, so 3/8 chain is what we're using. That's what I expected. Now the clutch drum has these 4 positioners, so I'm going to make sure to position it. Get a seat all the way down. Next is this washer, and then we do the clutch. You do not want to hit that hard. It does not need to be hit hard. Grease on it, and there's already grease on that, but grease on it too is helpful. Usually I just put these on by hand because the spinning of the motor will actually make sure that it tightens appropriately. Let's do a compression check. We're above 160, so that's good, especially for and it was still climbing, so I'm not going to pull that hard. But that means that this should start pretty easy. Spark plug. air filter. Air filter cover. For some reason the decompression valve is hidden, and I can guess why. Another thing to do is this plate goes on here. Make sure the pawl here is okay. Oh, and on this tensioner there is a really important tiny little rubber piece here, and that actually holds the tensioner into the whole mechanism. At this point, I think we're ready for a bar and chain. 262 XP is small mount, so we need a small mount bar. Actually, I don't think I'll put a bar and chain on it right now, mainly because I have this really nice bar that, or it's brand new, so I don't want to put that on there right now, but I do want to start it. And I already put gas in it. This is going to tend to fall off on me. That's just going to be annoying, but to start it, and I've already cheated here because I know that it starts. On, choke, decompression valve. So she goes. Alright. So it runs. I'm not going to put a bar and chain on it right now, but I'm going to put the chain brake on. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it outside and see if I can tune it. I would probably want a bar and chain on there for tuning, but I don't want to use something new. I want to use something that's actually old. That's just me. Anyway, now you know how to put a 262 XP together, and now I know how to put a 262 XP together, and that's basically how these videos go. Thanks to everybody who watched this video. Don't forget to subscribe.